looking at my data, I see the Spider-Verse costume is in the lead, $2,447. Vintage comic book, about $340 behind that right now. That can change. I've been watching it flip around a little bit as we get into this run. If you would like to see that costume change and see it happen in real time, keep those donations coming. We will be flipping this through the run if the lead changes. So come on, y'all, make them work for it. I've also got a $5 donation from Synthezoid. So excited for Pessilist Spider-Man run. The original Spider-Man movie was the first movie I ever saw in the theater, and I've loved Spidey ever since. Putting my entire donation towards the Raimi suit. We can all agree that Spider-Man 2 was the best movie, right? I mean, yeah, Spider-Man 2 was like solid. The Raimi movies were, those two Raimi movies were both really good. All right, y'all, like I said, keep those coming. We will be flipping those through the run if the lead changes, and that run is going to get started right now. Let's take it away.
Woo. All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Pessilist. This is Marvel Spider-Man, or Spider-Man 2018, or Spider-Man PS4, whatever you would like to call it. It's like, on commentary, I have the amazing JHobz.
Oh, thank you.
And the spectacular SeaAverage.
Oh, thanks. That's nice.
I saw that coming. When you said amazing, I was like, he's going with Spider-Man comic names.
I mean, we have to, right? And This is Marvel Spider-Man Remastered on the PlayStation 5. We have the beautiful ray tracing, 60 FPS, all of that fun jazz that comes with it. And we are going to play the Silver Lining DLC campaign, the last of three, probably the hardest of the three. But before we get to that, we have time in our estimate to go over some things, because there's a lot to explain with this run. First of all, suits. Yeah, you're just talking about suits, Shout. What we got?
All right, so...
Yeah, what is our current leader for the suit bid war?
So what I see at the moment, I've still got... Let me refresh this to make sure I've got the latest data. Spider-Verse currently in the lead.
Awesome.
All right.
So there is Spider-Verse. As Shout was saying, we have the ability to change this at any time during the run. So it's like, who are other contenders and how are they doing?
Let's see. So we had Spider-Verse at about 2450. We've got Vintage Comic Book at 2100. Far From Home currently in third at 1400. And a few others are on the board, but they're a ways behind.
Yeah, I know someone was talking about Raimi. If you want that in, little ways to go. Here's our setup for anyone who wants to pause and take a look at that. And now let's talk about the fact that we're on ultimate difficulty because of your amazing donations. So this is Friendly Neighborhood, health in the top left. You can see a little bit, it's not that bad. Now that we changed to ultimate, just take a look at the health from these just normal goons punching us. Just, yeah, there we go. That is the difference in what you guys did with your donations. This run gets pretty rough. So the thing is, punching dudes, just not going to work. We die really quickly. What we have to rely on are our gadgets. We have a big wheel of these. We get them by holding L1, and we're going to use every single one of these during the run. You need to know what they are, and we won't have time, so let's go over them. First of all, web shooters. Trusty, web them up, about 5 of them. When you stick a guy to a wall, that counts as a KO. So if that guy didn't want to cooperate, that's fine. Impact web is very good because, like the web shooter, it webs guys up instantly, but it also propels people to the wall. So it's very good to just immediately take them out. Web bombs web people up in an area of effect, just like that, which is incredibly effective with concussion blast, which is a blast of air. It shoots them. If they're webbed up, they get stuck to a wall. All good. Trip mine, we're going to use to instantly take out and web enemies that are in the air, just like that. Spider drones go pew-pew very fast, and we'll do a surprising amount. You'll see why. Suspension matrix stuns people and carries them up in the air, And finally, Electric Web is a stun effect, electrifies people just like that. We will not be using those last two for their intended effects, but you will see why later. All right, Silver Lining, let's do this. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. Yeah, we're diving in. So this is the third DLC for this game, and it is definitely the hardest, I would say.
Yeah, I'd say this is definitely the hardest content in the game on the hardest difficulty the game has to offer. So this is going to be really fun.
Yeah, this should be a great one. First off, we are swinging over towards the destination here. You're going to see a lot of this. There's a lot of point launch boosting going on, which is basically zipping to a point and then using a well-timed jump button press to launch yourself off of it. We're generally going to take the most direct line we can, although sometimes it is faster to actually take a slightly less optimal line to the destination in order to swing more, but this is not one of those cases. So we're going to mostly be doing a lot of web zipping to stay in the air and keep our speed going. And just ideally never touching the ground, never landing if we're not doing a point launch.
The ground is slow, very slow.
Definitely.
Yeah, one of the best part about movement in this game is every runner does it slightly differently. So there's a lot of creativity in how you approach it.
Yeah, with the regular swinging, the main thing is, just like you would expect if you're a physics expert, you would want to kind of hit the bottom part of your swing where you are most getting your horizontal speed, and then release and start up a new swing. So that way you're getting the most distance and speed out of it.
Yeah, so now Pessilist is at the first fight. This is going to be a little wild. Web Blossom here is going to web up a bunch of people, including that big brute. So that's super nice. And then just cleaning up with an impact web, delaying a little bit on this dig boy as to make sure that enemies are actually vulnerable. Going to, there we go, yep, use 2 focus to take out the big brute, and then because of one of the skills, be able to chain that into another takedown.
Very nice.
And now it sends us to this nice mid-air sort of thing. And like Pessilist just said a minute ago, trip mines or trip wires are going to be great for this because all these enemies are in the air.
Yeah, so trip wires are supposed to be your like stealth mechanic. You put them on a wall and then enemies run into them. But if they're in the air, the trip mine will default to pointing straight down. So it's going to just zip them straight to the ground. And then we use a takedown on the big brute again. They need 2 focus bars in order to be taken out, but it's way faster than that. He also switched his suit power because of this, a glitch where he's going to be using a negative shockwave and a time slowdown effect from the weapon wheel to instantly finish that mini boss.
Yeah, it like multi-hits basically, I think, is how that.
Yeah, that's our kind of theory about it, is just it hits multiple times while the time is slowed down. And it is so useful that we're practically not going to use it again, I think, if I remember correctly. It's amazing, and you'd think it would dominate the run, but it really doesn't, because this is just a really solid run with a lot of variety to it.
So now, swinging to the next objective. Pessilist is doing a bunch of like twirls and spins and these tricks. There's actually a reason behind that. Like we said earlier, focus is really important, and doing tricks actually generates focus while you're just like traversing. So in order to have enough focus for the next fight, just a bunch of tricks getting thrown in to generate more focus.
Yeah. Pess has to wait there anyways for some dialogue to happen, so you might as well build that focus bar, which is the green bar in the top left once he's back in combat.
Overlay within the overlay?
Yeah. Oh yeah, here we go. The Twitch overlay.
Yeah, focus is the green bar you'll see in the top left. You get it from just using gadgets, doing combos, dodging attacks. Basically everything gives you focus, and it's the main resource we have to manage throughout this run. Because you have 3 focus bars, and those 3 focus bars can be used to either do a finisher, which instantly takes out a dude and refills our gadgets, or it can be used to heal. So since this is the hardest difficulty, I need to figure out when do I need my gadgets, because my gadgets are how we go fast, like you saw in that first mission, and when do I need to heal.
Yeah, and because the healing, like ideally you want to heal never, because every heal opportunity you take means that you are not using focus on a finisher, because the performing finishers from the air is actually quite fast as well, especially on the larger brute enemies. But like we said before, the larger brutes take 2 focus bars, 2 out of your only 3. And if you heal, you're going to use 1. So like you have to be really careful with focus management. And in fact, the setup of suit mods is all planned around helping your gadgets refill more of your focus and vice versa.
And your focus refilling your gadgets, right?
Yes,
so,
it's kind of this positive feedback loop that works really well for the speedrun on ultimate difficulty.
So you want to talk about equalizer? We equipped that during the force menu, and it's a little silly.
Yeah, absolutely. So Equalizer is a suit power in this game that makes everything die in one hit, including you. So when you activate it, it's a very short amount of time, but when you activate it, you will die from one hit from anything, but so will every enemy, which leads to some really cool techniques when you combine them with gadgets.
Right, such as, say, the suspension matrix.
Nice. Clipped into the truck, nice.
Yeah, so this fight actually has some neat kind of spawn manipulation that Pessilist is going to do that I don't quite exactly remember all of, but basically trying to manipulate the enemies to come out of this specific side and then again like come out of one side instead of both of them here in a little bit.
He's using a lot of finishers right now because he used the gadgets in the previous fight. And now there's the Equalizer. He dropped the spider drone. The Equalizer properties will actually still apply to the spider drone. So it off screen just killed a bunch of enemies in one hit apiece.
Yep.
Helping him refill his focus too.
Yeah, and it also applies to, that was a great fight. It
amazing.
Applies to suspension matrix when it like does the little poof up, like that does like 1 damage, but that's enough.
Yeah.
And then it also applies to the arcing of the electric webs. So like some of these gadgets that wouldn't really be that useful on ultimate difficulty become a lot more useful because of Equalizer.
Shoutouts to a runner of this game named Friel. Like, love that dude. He inadvertently discovered that gadgets combo really well with Equalizer, and it leads to some very silly things.
Yeah,
it's really cool too because like we were already using a ton of different gadgets, and I feel like suspension matrix was one of the ones that we like couldn't find a great use for, and then it's like, oh hey, use it with Equalizer, and you just kill a bunch of goons immediately. It's awesome.
And Equalizer's kind of like an ultimate only sort of strat because on Friendly Neighborhood things die so fast that you don't need them, and you take so much damage on ultimate anyway that like the risk reward is kind of just like a no-brainer.
Right.
Yep. So welcome to the chase scene. We have to talk about accessibility features now. The accessibility features in this game and Miles are some of the best in the industry. Insomniac did an incredible job with them. Everything from auto-completing QTEs, which you see in some of these, and skipping puzzles to a bunch of colorblind options and everything like that. One thing they added in the PS5 version is called Chase Assist. Chase Assist means that all of these sequences where we're chasing vehicles, all of them slow down so they're easier to chase. Because of that, it's faster to have Chase Assist on in that part of the chase because it ends whenever you catch all of the vehicles. In this part of the chase, it's not actually affected by how quickly you catch the vehicles because each vehicle has to hit a certain point in their route and then it continues on to the next sequence of events. So it's actually faster to turn it off so that they will go as fast as possible to their destination. And since we know where they're going and how they're going to move, we can just take them out instantly as we go.
That was a really good land onto that car, like the launch from the ground. Another thing we kind of didn't really note is the DLC is done on a completed file, basically like 100% file. So he has all the skills and all the powers and everything, including the ability to kind of recover from landing on the ground and continue moving again.
It's actually like 100% file and then some. The way New Game Plus works in this game is that you reach max level, but then you can keep leveling up to like an HP cap. It like keeps adding HP. So you see that 200 or 250 XP or
this
HP
car
is the max.
will explode now.
Nice.
So it takes a
now
few...
we can just wait on this lamppost.
Yeah, a few runs.
Yeah,
to
it
get
takes
to
a
the max
few
level.
New Game Plus runs of just like chaining New Game Plus before you finally reach that max level file. But you want that because it also increases your swing speed. So that's something we've like all of us runners have done is just like go through New Game Plus a bunch of times.
I was bad and I never did it. I had like 125 health instead of 250. I was dumb. Don't be like me. Anyways, so he's still chasing this down
this
now.
part you have to shoot down drones. When you do, once she gets to around this part, the top part of the intersection, you can hop on the helicopter, then you just shoot down a few drones, and you catch the last truck, and then we have an unskippable cutscene.
If I remember correctly, didn't you say that on PS5 this kind of changed a bit to the point where the large, aircraft can actually accidentally take out a drone and then cause problems?
It can accidentally take out a drone, which soft locks the game. You just have to reset checkpoint. That happened, but it didn't. Which it's a marathon. Yes. I'm amazed it didn't. So this is an unskippable cutscene. So donations, please.
Absolutely. I have a $100 donation here from Max Golden. I worked on the Silver Sable AI for this DLC. It's so great to see it get some love at AGDQ.
I like how that came in after we destroyed Silver Sable in one hit and then just talked about the unfortunate problem when it got with PS5.
But it was the first hit you gave me.
Hey, we love your work.
No, we love this game. We super appreciate it.
Got time for more?
Yeah, you're good to go.
I've got $250 here from Jameson. I'm guessing not that one, but we'll come back to it. I've been watching for numerous years. First-time donator. I look forward to this every year and hope to attend one in person. Thanks, everyone, for putting on such a special and fun event.
And you have one or two more in there.
All right. Non-binary code sends in $9. That Spider-Verse costume is a menace! Get me vintage comic book Spider-Man!
Remember, I'll change it at any time, so get those donations in if you want.
They're closing it up. I'm keeping an eye on it.
Ooh, excellent.
Get vintage.
And working on that also, $25 from Res Judicata 1. That Spider-Man is a menace, a cancer on society, and you, my loyal listeners, can stop him by donating to the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Do it now! Do it for New York!
Oh, incredible.
Truer words have never been spoken.
J.K. Simmons would be proud.
So this mission is very funny because this mission isn't going to last very long. I'm literally going to jump down, I'm going to drop a drone, I'm going to equalizer, and everything's going to die.
Yep, and if it doesn't, then you are introduced to the ultimate difficulty of this game.
Then you run away. You run away fast.
Yeah, no, it went perfectly. That's awesome. Yeah, so we mentioned this is the hardest content in the game, and it legitimately is very hard, as much as Pessilist is making it not seem as much.
You have to remember, the thing about Equalizer is if I get hit, I'm dead.
Yeah, if
I'm literally going in no-hit mode whenever I use it. So it is way harder than it looks.
Yeah, he cannot get even touched. And the other thing, too, is the way that the fights tend to work on ultimate difficulty runs of this video game is you have an idea of how the fight's going to go, and sometimes it just will not go that way, and you got to change everything around.
Right, and you have to adapt because you don't always have the same gadgets. So we've talked about it a little bit, but the build that we use for this, when you finish her, you get some gadgets back. But it's not always the same gadget, so you might not have the same gadgets every run. Actually, you never will have the same gadgets every run.
Not unless you route it really, really well.
Right.
Which I try to do. So we're supposed to tail these guys. We can just go to the end where they're going to go. And this is a good time for me to talk about I don't know if it's a glitch or what you want to call it. It was found by our community glitch hunter, Botsygo, and with the help of Sans Goku. And essentially what's going to happen is once these guys get here, you're supposed to run into this little alley to hide and then climb up the building, so not let the public know you're Spider-Man. We can just ignore that. So what we're going to try to do is reset checkpoint. For about 2 seconds, the game will think we're playing Spider-Man. So it'll let us do a web zip. We will try to web zip onto this pole right above Peter's head. And if we do that, he will web zip over just across the street and land exactly on the sign that we want to eavesdrop on these guys, which skips about 15 to 20 minutes of running around, going on rooftops, jumping over. Decent chunk of nonsense. And don't worry, no one pieces together if this guy's Spider-Man. It's all fine.
Yeah, I mean, he's just got really big ups or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So we got the reload. Got launched to the wrong location, so he went with another reload. There we go. And the launch all the way up onto the sign. Very nice. He had to make sure he reloaded quickly when he didn't get it right. And then nice little walk on air as we're dropping into the fight.
Reset or we soft lock, and
Yeah, more drones and equalizer and everything, and trying not to get hit.
That guy wanted to kill me bad.
Yeah, that one's a fight where you hit equalizer, you throw some drones, and you hope hope for the best.
Yeah.
So there's a decent chunk of that. And you might be saying, hey, you're using a lot of drones. We're not going to be able to get away with that in the fight coming up, because we have, this is trust issues. It's the longest mission in the game, and it is by far the most difficult, because the fight coming up is very silly. Very long, very silly, lot of stuff going on. So, but first, I just happen to know where this thing is before we find out, because, you know, speedrunning.
Yeah, that's a lot of this run's like routing really is going to where the waypoint's going to be before the waypoint shows up.
Yep.
It gets actually like really hard to remember like how to navigate through New York in this game at times. Then we get a little fight. Thankfully, Equalizer was not on there at the moment, so he was able to get hit a little bit. But you could see how great all the other gadgets are, too. He was able to use a web bomb and concussion blast to take out a bunch of those enemies. And then this is also a common backup, is to knock enemies that are already webbed up into the air so that you can immediately throw them down, because it's a faster animation than swinging them around before throwing them into a wall.
Yep. So this part, we're just chasing after Sable. And by chasing now, I mean you don't fail, she's on screen. Just like make sure that she is visible on screen. So we can talk a little bit about the story here. Essentially, in the last DLCs, Hammerhead, who is a big like mafia boss, has like him and his men are running rampant around New York. They stole a bunch of Sable tech, which Silver Sable is really, really unhappy about. So she's going on a big old rampage, and Spider-Man's just being like, hey, I also want to take down Hammerhead. Like, chill out a little bit. Like, let me help you. And you know how Spider-Man stories go. She's not very happy about that. So, hardest fight in the run. Take it away, boys.
Yeah, so we're up here into the rooftop fight. So he's got to take out these 4 antennas that you can see up here first, and they are normally, you basically are supposed to use your web shooters to web them up and everything, but it actually works out that other gadgets work too.
So like web bomb and impact web are really good for
Unfortunately, I would like to save those for the actual fight.
Didn't get like too many refills earlier and stuff, so he just got a couple more web bombs there, but he's gonna use kind of the time while he's waiting for web shooters to refill as his time to kind of swing around or to take out enemies if he has focus. Doesn't have focus right now though, so he's just trying to dodge while he's waiting. Ooh, good dodge there. The top right, that web shooter UI is a good thing to kind of like keep an eye on and know kind of where his mind is. Now we're into the actual like fighting part here.
Nice, that was a great tripwire there. So that enemy with the like shield that bashes can be a real pain, and Pessilist just like immediately tripwired it into the ground. And now that we've freed Sable's ship, Sable can actually shoot some enemies for us, which is nice. We just pop the equalizer, and that answers the question of whether Sable shots one shot with equalizer. Guess not. But yeah, so now it's just equalizer and don't die.
Yeah, the equalizer only lasts for a little bit, so it's already gone now. He's like just trying to kind of clean up. This is what happens sometimes in Ultimate, is like things don't die. They either shielded the drone hits or whatever, and you got to either hope that you have enough focus or find some other ways.
I didn't even see where the guys were. That was weird.
Yeah.
Overall, that was no death means that's a pretty good fight. Like, that's basically what you're aiming for there.
Basically, yeah.
That was pretty solid in general, though. Yeah. Like, honestly, I think the third antenna was, like, a little scary. And outside of that, things were looking pretty solid.
Yeah.
So we switched back to Web Blossom, our superpower at the start. And we get to swing to the sewers, where we're going to get out of bounds just a little bit. Just a little tiny bit.
It's just a small out of bounds. It's fine.
I mean, if you've never seen out of bounds in this game, it looks real trippy.
Yeah. It's a lot smaller than like Fisk Tower. Out of bounds.
Yeah.
Like, it's a small one.
I just like that as an idea of like kind of just trying to converse with devs, being like, it's just a baby out of bounds.
So you're not supposed to stick here. You will make sure Spider-Man's head is clipping a little bit, just web shoot a bit, and you're out of bounds. And also, fun fact here, there's people here.
Yeah, so devs, let me know, because I want to know if this is accurate. Tweet at me if you have to, J_Hobz. My guess is that the enemies, the NPCs walking up there is because you wanted like sounds, like footsteps from the streets or something in that tunnel, and thus you just spawned some NPCs on the top of the box. Let me know if I'm wrong or right about that, because that's my theory. Yeah.
We just get to the end here. Out of bounds looks very trippy. And now our bread and butter ultimate fight, basically.
Yeah. And see, you have words about this.
About parts of this fight towards the end, but it's actually a super cool fight. It's another really difficult one, not quite as bad as the rooftop, but it's basically a fight of gadget management and finishers. Like, use your gadgets, go find some people to finish her. Use your gadgets, go find some people to finish her, run away. And this is actually one of the first places we kind of experimented with Equalizer as a strat, which is kind of cool, except I don't think it's going to get used here because of changes to the PS5 fight.
Nice web blossom.
Yeah, that's really good web blossom.
Try to wrap everybody up. A few of them didn't quite get actually stuck to something, so Pessilist had to like pay attention and try to hit them with another just web shooter in order to stick them to the ground once they get knocked down. And I think, is that it? That's awesome.
Yeah. So
now
on the PS4 version of this game, there's a second phase of that fight that is extremely hard because the hardest enemies in the game finally show up, the like whip users. And on PS5, it's apparently just not there.
They just don't spawn.
Which is not cool. Like, come on. Like, I'm a PS4 user. Come on. Like, put those fights back. Insomniac, I'm going to make a live deal with you right now. We're about to go into a 6-minute wait where we just can't do anything and we have to wait for the next mission to spawn for 6 minutes. You can leave that in. No. Take that out.
Take that out.
Put the enemies back.
You can put the enemies back. Make our lives worse if you take out the 6-minute wait.
That's the deal.
Yeah. To explain that, so but Insomniac made a really good like development decision, right? With their game, where they're like, hey, we have a big open world, and we don't want people just blitzing through the story. We want them to do Spider-Man stuff. So what do? It's like we put the stories on a timer, and we say, hey, you have this amount of time until the next story mission spawns. Go do side stuff. Go catch pigeons. Go do side quests. All that fun stuff. Problem is, since we're speedrunning, we don't want to catch pigeons. We want to just go to the next thing. And the biggest problem with Silver Lining as a speedrun, you might have been saying, wow, this has been going really fast. We're way below estimate. Yeah, that's because this wait is 6 minutes long.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, some of that time we're spending traveling to the location and all
30
that.
30 seconds. So
but
it's a 5 minute and 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's a little unfortunate kind of downside about this. So Pessilist has some stuff that he wanted to kind of show in the meantime, and also now is a fantastic time to hear from Shout about some donations.
Oh, I got them ready for you. Okay, let's start with DW Rust, sent in $50. Most Spider-Man games hit the web on the head. I'm excited to watch the speedrun from Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered. Thank Me Later sent in $10. Strong enough to have all the suits, too weak to change them. Second biggest loser sent in $20. Parker! I don't want excuses! I want speedruns of Spider-Man! Cannon Swift sent in $50. If it wasn't for Spider-Man, I would not have to read this comment. Keep giving donations and I will be loud and shout about Spider-Man. Give me donations for Spider-Man!
I'm going to send you an address as soon as
Cannon. All right.
Yeah, we'll interrupt you briefly so Pes can explain what he's going to do here.
Yeah, so, well, do you want to explain how important, like, we thought this whole thing was?
So
it was
basically,
like, the backstories.
This research station, and if it's not this one, let's just pretend it's this one, but I think it's this one. Yeah. So this research station is actually the first research station that you are introduced to in the game. This is like the one that is an actual story mission that you have to go to. I think it's called like Harry's Big Day or something like that. Something like that. And our theory for the longest time was if we can find a way to clip into this research station, then we can skip a ton of story missions. And if you actually use the rock out which is ridiculous that you use rock out to clip in this. You can potentially clip in here. You're kind of stuck between two walls now, and so Pess is trying to get inside the actual research station, and he's using a... Oh, I thought you had it. I thought you had it for a second. He's kind of using like a technique that is similar to this really fast speed tech called eagle launching to kind of like wiggle yourself around and make you vibrate a ton and get a ton of speed and try to like get right through the wall. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, we found out, because we were finally able to clip into this research station, and we found out that as we expected, they actually made this game very well, coded this game quite well, and all of the flags and stuff are not set, so you can't skip straight to the story mission.
No, I did everything right, but just so you know, the actual way to get in here is just go here and press triangle. But yeah, I did everything right there. Sometimes you clip out of bounds of the thing, which is also funny. So I'm just going to go wait for my time to play the video game again. Donations, please.
Absolutely. Please keep those Jameson donations coming. Those are fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say, especially if the suit has changed at all, because we can still change it.
We still
we are $88 away. It is so close. I'm just waiting for it.
We only have like
one mission,
so gotta rush it in there, folks.
Please.
I do want to get this one in real quick here. $50 from Zaws. Good to see AGDQ back. Shout out to the overlay team. Layout is clean this year. And I absolutely want to echo that. The folks over at Support Class have done an amazing job with the overlays this time around. It's gorgeous. I know how hard they've worked on it. So, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they look awesome. But yeah, please, any more donations
you
got?
I have $25 here from Mike and Ella. Hi, AGDQ. First time donating for us. Spider-Man was one of the first games we played together with our late cat, Spider-Gwen, so it holds a special place for us. Good luck on the run.
I say, speaking of cats, chat, I think this cat right here needs some pets from chat, you know? Just saying.
Pess is like, oh no, I gotta get some pets in there now.
Aw. Some information or feedback on your commentary there, Hobbs. I've got $10 here from Blockhead. I don't want research stations! I want donations for Spider-Man!
Sorry, I heard cat.
You just keep them coming, Chef.
Yeah.
We're just watching the beautiful sunset.
Mysterious Gamer X sent in $50. Spider-Verse is the best. Almost as best as Super Monkey Ball. And just so y'all know, we have opened up that incentive, Bonus Game 2, Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania, tomorrow. That incentive has been open, so please get your donations in for that. But also for the costumes, and also for, J. Jonah Jameson. It's all good, right? We like it all.
Hey, Pessilist, you think you can get any high fives before the mission spawns?
Oh, no.
Too late. You gotta get those in sooner.
Yeah, that was a bit of a meme run for about a day.
High five.
Was trying to get five.
It is still a meme. All right, so now we get to talk about one of the most utilized speed techs in this game, but usually in full game. It's called a backpack skip. Now, a lot of missions in this game are actually based on dialogue. Certain dialogue plays, and once the dialogue is finished, this whatever trigger starts to be, starts to happen. Now, the thing about backpacks is they're collectible in this game, and whenever you go into collections and click on them, Spider-Man starts talking about them and talking about lore and stuff. And when he does that, it sometimes can interrupt the story dialogue of whatever mission you are in, which cuts off a bunch of dialogue, makes it so we listen to a bunch less stuff, and is very, very funny when MJ is molding on the phone and Peter's talking about his first date with MJ.
Cool.
Yeah, not happening here, but the usefulness is, it's really great, and weirdly it doesn't work on like all dialogue, which is why we haven't been doing it up to this point or anything. It's even spots that we're pretty sure are like based on dialogue finishing, it doesn't always cancel it out. Sometimes the call will just kind of restart afterwards. But now Pessilist is basically into this fight, just kind of has to toss all of these barrels first.
Children on the inside.
And I think you're just waiting on a specific line for the last one. This is, I think, like calibrating the laser or something like that.
And it's final boss time.
Yep, 5-phase fight here. And most of it is going to be, okay, you're going to go hit Hammerhead and then make him vulnerable so that Sable can hit him with the big gun.
Oh, come on.
We're going to start things off by web bombing and hitting the legs, and it's ultimate difficulty. This is what happens. Sometimes things just do not want to, do not care about your speedrun, basically. So he's going to web him up, try to hit the legs to be able to weaken him, and there's the first death of the run.
Try again.
It's like, I have never seen him just wall me like that before.
Yeah,
That
he
was
did
really
not care
weird.
today.
This gives us a second
Can
to
you,
talk
like,
about.
buddy?
Yeah, 2 of those web bombs unfortunately whiffed. But there we go. Now he's webbed up. He's going to be able to at least, like, kind of loosen up one of the legs.
There we go.
Costume change.
All right, there we go.
Costume
Costume change. Vintage comic book is now in the lead.
Yes, we can do it right now, mid-fight. Heck yeah, look at that. That's awesome. So there's phase 1. We're heading into phase 2, where we get to use yet another suit power.
Right. Yep. Defense shield, which I don't think any other run of this game uses at all.
I don't think so.
But basically,
New
defense
Game
shield
Plus
just lets
uses
you.
it for 10 seconds.
Okay, there we go. So you, it lets you just hit and not take hits, basically. Like you tank all the hits. It doesn't knock you back. It doesn't do damage, which is great for this fight. And all these reset checkpoints are in order to get like that back.
Get your suit power back. We never had a chance to talk about it earlier, but the way he was using Equalizer a lot of the times sometimes was by actually resetting a checkpoint, because it will instantly refill your suit power. So defense shield, like C said, is blocking, you know, the basically blocking damage from Hammerhead and the little goons. It also deflects bullets. That is another kind of aspect of it. So that was, I believe, phase 3 we just went through, right? Because we had to wait on the bombs to come down.
Now the scariest phase, because we can't use defense shield.
Yeah, we restart checkpoint here, but we need to hold on to the defense shield for phase 5. And he's going to be using some suspension matrix, most likely, to just take care of the goons, keep them out of the way. That was really scary. So big chunk of health gone now. He's going to just keep trying to get Hammerhead vulnerable with those gadgets. Yeah, got to throw another suspension matrix down. Yeah, trying to make sure that if any goons run up close, they're going to get lifted up into the air. Oh, that was super scary. All right, and then phase 5 is coming up, and then I believe time comes up like right after that. So Pessilist, make sure you call it out.
There will be a cutscene.
In phase 5, he's just trying not to die while he breaks the shield at the beginning here. So the drones and things and electric webs and stuff like that are just to keep the enemies busy, keep the ads of the fight basically out of your way. And then eventually he'll be using defense shield once he gets to go actually punch Hammerhead again. There it is.
All right, time is when the cutscene ends. So there's a little bit of dialogue here. And time.
Excellent. That was an awesome run, man.
I've never seen Hammerhead do that.
It's beautiful. So I said this about like every Kingdom Hearts run that's ever happened, and you kind of know that because you've also run Kingdom Hearts stuff. I'm like, I want that one death on a super hard difficulty in a GDQ run, so everybody can see like the whole run. He was closer than even that to dying at any moment because of how often you use Equalizer. So it's like that's how easy it is to die in this run, and you crushed it.
Yep, and you got to see the comic suit at the end. Great job, chat.
Yeah, I love it right there next to Sable in that cutscene. Like, that's so great.
Love it.
Big props to whoever did all the shaders and everything on that to make these kinds of effects work, because they're so disorienting the first time in like the best way, and then they're super cool every time after that.
Huge props. So, yeah, that's Silver Lining. Shout outs to Saigo, our resident glitch hunter. He finds so much stuff, like the sewer clip and the lampposts and the all sorts of nonsense we use in all of the runs.
Like 90% of the stuff in a lot of these runs, and things that aren't ever put into a route because they're too hard.
Yeah. Shout outs to our Spider-Man community, to Prince Vortex and Burke Maverick and Team Mal for being great ambassadors to the community, for Rebel Dragon for telling me how stupid I was at playing with some of the strats I did play this. And if you ever want to learn the game, the DLCs are all half an hour to 40 minutes. Their heist has no glitches, so it's very easy to pick up. All of them are very fun speed runs, quick to learn. Like literally an afternoon. I learned my first DLC run in like 2 hours.
Yeah, I think even like routing the heist 100% was like a day when I did that. It was it was
fun. It was like a day. Rest in peace.
Yeah, and a nice little tribute at the end there.
And shout outs to the community. Come into the Spider-Man Discord if you ever want to learn to run, learn some things. Like, great place, a lot of fun people. And enjoy the rest of the marathon, guys. Thanks for having me.
Pessilist, real quick while you're here, before you're gone. I got to get this donation while you're still here. $5 from Sino. I want names of Spider-Man and that cat on the chair.
His name is Oreo.
Oreo, thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a good marathon, guys.
See ya.
All right, thank you so much, Pessilist, JHobz, SeaAverage. Thank you so much. That was amazing and so much fun. Okay, a few more donations. I want to make sure that I'm caught out here. Oh, God, just saw a new one land. Okay. Rivers SVP has sent in $25. Just submitting a JHonation. Andrea has sent in $10. I don't want an adorable cat in the background. I want pictures of Spider-Man. Cannon Swift sent in $75. There is an imposter here. Spider-Man must be stopped. I heard I could collect his costume if I donated. Carrot Kate has sent in $25. I want spiders! Spiders of Photo Man! And Doodlebee, thank you so much, has sent in $50. Shout outs to the Marvel with the screaming Spider-Man inside. Oh, y'all are too much. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to get something to drink. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back after this.
There was once a girl I felt I'd known forever. Her name in every song, her smile in every summer. Across the continent, we'd go on adventure, but now we are apart. But I still picture us living in the same house, somewhere by the sea. It wouldn't have to be much, a place for her and me. Yeah, that'd be everything that we would ever need. And when the night
And we're back, everybody. This is Awesome Games Done Quick 2022 online. Oh, all right. Let's get ready to shift gears here. Going to take some time, go through a couple of things to get set up for this next run. And I've just got word we have another interview ready to go. So, sending it back over to my good friend Keizaron for that.
Thanks a lot, Game and Shout. I got to point out, by the way, you're doing really awesome at hosting. Anyway, I'm Keizaron. Hello, AGDQ 2022 online. I'm joined by SharkHat87. Do you mind if I call you just Shark for short?
That's perfect, yeah.
All right, perfect. Well, Shark, how are you feeling right now?
I'm doing good. Honestly, I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm sure once I get started with my run later, I'll be totally fine. I'm not too worried about it. It's practice has been really good recently, so
yeah, I'd imagine the nerves are a pretty prevalent thing because as we were talking about, you've been at a GDQ before on commentary, specifically for Dead Space 1, but this is your first actual GDQ run. So how are you feeling about that?
I'm super excited. Put a ton of work in along with the whole community in this game the past couple of years since I joined. So I'm mostly just excited to show all this crazy stuff. I know I have some friends watching too that know I do this but haven't actually seen the run before. So I'm hoping they're also surprised by some of the tricks and stuff they'll be doing.
Now, speaking of work, I want to emphasize to everyone at home that you've put in a lot of work, especially because you were telling me that you went through an injury that actually kind of slowed down your progress with the game.
Yeah, so what happened was it was the summer of 2020 because I started playing in May of 2020, and I developed a repetitive strain injury in my forearms, and so it's fully healed now, pretty much. But even like almost somewhat recently, it was still giving me problems. I'd have to take breaks to stretch or sometimes not play for as long. So it was tough because we'd be in all these Discord calls like labbing strats and like doing runs and stuff. And sometimes I'd have to kind of like take a break and be like, I really want to do this, but I gotta like recover too. And it took a while, but I'm finally sort of like back into the swing of things, fortunately.
It's good news to hear, and it's also a good reminder to everyone at home that like just if you feel something's up, just be sure to take care of yourself because even though it might feel like you're just playing a game and it's speedrunning, health is still really important. So, stretches, stay hydrated, so on and so forth. Now, before we get into the meat and potatoes of your Dead Space 2 run, I just want to go through a list real quick here. And I just kind of want to like figure out like what the attachment is here. So SpongeBob SquarePants, Fairly Odd Parents,
Yep.
Alien, Outlast, Dead Space. Two of those don't really fit in. So what happened here? What happened from Nickelodeon to horror games?
Well, so it was funny. So yeah, Battle for Bikini Bottom was the first speedrun I like tried to learn. I actually started trying to learn it like 2017, never finished it, but I just happened to see the run and thought it was super cool. It's just a super fun platformer. So I was playing that a little bit, and then like when I started speedrunning in like 2020, I'd started. I guess I sort of started Dead Space 2 and that around the same-ish time. But yeah, no, for me, I like horror games. They're some of my favorite games, but I also like platformers. So honestly, that's kind of where it comes into play. But sometimes it's just, I'd see a game, and even if it's sort of like a silly licensed game or a AAA horror game or whatever, if it seems like a fun run or it's like fun to play, I'll pick it up. I have some, the Fairly Odd Parents one, I have some friends who run Outlast that also ran that game, and I saw them run it, and I was like, what is this game? And they're telling me, oh, well, it actually is a pretty sick speed game, and it's got a lot of tech and all this stuff. And then so I try it out and do some runs. And
now let's go ahead and pivot back to Dead Space 2, and the series, the game as a whole. There's been a huge record improvement, and I'd imagine that we're going to see a lot of the like big tricks and skips that led to that. But do you kind of want to talk about like how much the record has shifted and like what the run looks like that we're going to see today?
Yeah, so to keep it brief, when the game first came out, it was a little over 2 hours, and then by the time the end of 2019 rolled around, the first sub 2 happened, which was it was a 158. Well, we do a little bit of a retime because of the intro cutscene, so it's a 154 now. But essentially, it was the first sub 2 in November of 2019, and now the record is a 104.41. So in the past 2 years, it has just gotten blown wide open. I mean, there were not to say, I mean, there were a lot of tricks. You know, it got cut
Sure.
to get cut down below 2 hours. It still had to, you know, there still had to be a lot of discoveries and things. But yeah, there's been a lot of activity recently. Found a ton of new tech. Some of the most broken stuff involves deloading the level, and you know, there's all kinds of like floor clipping with enemies, all these kinds of things, physics-based glitches that we've discovered since then. And yeah, it went all the way. It improved by about 50 minutes in that time. It's just been insane to see that rapid growth. We go through periods of time where it's like every day we're finding something, and then for a few months it's kind of stable for a bit, and then we think, okay, well, there's no way we'll get sub 130 though, and then it blows up again, and then it's like, I swear, I think 120 was like the peak. Like you couldn't get 119. It wasn't going to happen. That was like last March. And then over the summer, we found 3 huge tricks, and I think we went through the 110s in like a month, and then it was 109, and we thought, that's insane. And then since the summer, we've been grinding it down from 109 all the way down. Now it's 104. Yeah.
That's incredible to see that progress. Before we sign off and send it back to Mr. Game and Shout, I do have one last question for you, and it's kind of a combination. Right. One, it has to do with the hat on your head, and 2, it has to do with the username. I gotta know. Just give me a rapid fire 15-second answer. I gotta know. Shark Hat. Why?
All right. So 7th grade, went to Universal, went on the Jaws ride, which isn't there anymore, but they had these shark hats, and I got it. And I guess at the time I just thought it was the coolest thing ever, and I just ended up making it my, you know, screen name and that kind of thing, and it kind of just stuck around since then.
Well, perfect. Thanks a lot for taking part in this interview, Shark. I'm Keizaron again. Don't forget, tune in later to watch Shark Hat's run of Dead Space 2. But for now, I'm going to send you all back up to the front, and we're also going to see TGH play a game, I guess. Bye, everyone.
I get the feeling there are some hurt feelings there. Thank you so much, Shark Hat and Keys, for that interview. All right, I got one more donation I want to get in here real quick. A $20 donation from Alex. Not but a few runs in, and I'm already getting that warm and fuzzy GDQ feeling. Thanks for getting me through the week, everyone. And thank you, everyone, for the donations, for the laughs, for being so engaged. GDQ wouldn't be what it is without all of you out there, and I'm looking forward to seeing the amazing things you all come up with over the next week. But for now, my time at the hosting station has come to an end. I will be back with you on Saturday for some fun. In the meantime, I'm going to leave you in the hands of the incredibly talented and capable Char Bunny. She's going to be hanging out with you here for the next couple of runs. Thank you all so much. I will be seeing you all in the future. But first, let's head over see what my boss is up to over at the prize stage. Sent, what you got for us this time?
Shout, 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 shout. I don't want pictures of Spider-Man. I want prizes! And I have plenty. Welcome back to Awesome Games Done Quick 2022 Online, everyone. My name is Sent, and joining me is Mr. You're not Mr. Game and Shout. You can stay, though. I like you. And I'm going to tell you about some of the amazing prizes that you can win by donating during AGDQ 2022 Online. Now, all the prizes I'm going to talk about right now are available from now until the end of Environmental Station Alpha a little bit later tomorrow morning. You've got plenty of time to get those donations in, but make sure you do, because these prizes, absolutely amazing. You definitely don't want to miss them. Starting off here from Pearl Pop, $5 minimum donation, we have this absolutely beautiful little toad perler. You can see the melt on this thing, absolutely perfect. You turn it around, you can't see anything through the back of this, even if I hold it up to the light. That is a good quality melt. Thank you so much, ProPop, $5 minimum donation for this lovely toad. Now, also from ProPop, for a $15 minimum donation, we have this lovely Ganon perler. I think it's actually even only a $10 donation. It's less than I thought, and look how amazing it is. Look at that detail. It's the Oracle of Seasons form of Ganon. You know, the one you only get to fight if you play Seasons and Ages together. Super cool final boss design, super cool perler. Again, look at the quality of that melt. It is seamless. Pearl Pop is a master. Make sure to get a $10 donation in order to be entered into that. We have this lovely calendar here, Animal Crossing themed calendar from the Calendork. Let's just flip through it a little bit. We can see some of the different months of the year. Oh, yep, we can see September, October, all the beautiful Animal Crossing style artwork. It is super cool. I believe this is a $10 minimum donation from now until the end of Environmental Station Alpha. Make sure to get those donations in. Super cool little calendar, and it's functional. I mean, who doesn't need a calendar? I certainly do. I can't remember what day it is. Is it like Tuesday already? What do you mean it's Sunday? We got a lot of GDQ left, and that is a great thing. Now, from our friends over at Fangamer and Wayo, we have an upside-down ActRaiser vinyl. It's very important you put your vinyls upside down. That's the only way they're going to read properly on the player. If you have them right side up like this, where you can see this beautiful artwork here, not going to work right for you, but you definitely want to make sure you get your donations in. It's a $20 minimum donation for the vinyl. Super cool. You get the cover art, you get all the discs. It's got some great soundtrack. ActRaiser, super underrated soundtrack of the Super Nintendo, by the way. A lot of people don't think about it. Definitely an amazing soundtrack. You want to listen to it. $20 minimum donation. Let's just set that down there real quick. For a $15 minimum donation, we have this lovely Hollow Knight hat from Tiffany Mishaw. Now, it's even going to fit on me over this headset, I think. You know what? No, it's not, but it's absolutely adorable. It's the vessel from Hollow Knight as like a flat back cap. Come on, super cool. $15 minimum donation. Make sure to get it in. Let me readjust here real quickly. Go into some of the other cool stuff we have. Now, here we go. We have this lovely rainbow cross stitch featuring the iconic phrase from Zelda 1. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. Love the colors on it. Love the shine on it. It's a little hard to see on the camera, but the fabric itself is actually kind of like covered in glitter. So in person, it has this really beautiful shimmering effect. It comes to us from Aaron McLaughlin, and that is a $25 minimum donation from now until the end of ESA. Make sure to get your donations in for this. This is a beautiful, piece to put in your living room, to hang up on your wall, to tell people how much you love the Legend of Zelda series. Absolutely gorgeous cross stitch. Again, this isn't a print, by the way. This is a cross stitch. There's like 1,000 stitches. And Sint can't do math, so that means there's probably like 5,000 stitches in this. Absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for sending that out to us, Aaron. And speaking of ridiculous numbers, from our good friends over at The Chain Nerd, huge shout-outs to August of The Chain Nerd. We have this lovely Sheikah Slate chainmail, $50 minimum donation from now until the end of ESA. Please make sure to get those donations in. This thing is absurd. It's like 12,000 hand-forged chain links put together. You got this beautiful black chainmail, the lovely contrast of the Sheikah emblem. It's so cool. How can you not love this? $50 minimum donation. Please get those donations in before ESA. And of course, we got to briefly mention our grand prizes because they are really cool. From Heroic Replicas, who have been providing us amazing prizes for multiple events in a row now, we have 3 special Zelda items for you. A Dark Link-styled Master Sword, as you can see on the table there, a lovely Hylian shield, and while we unfortunately don't have it right here, you can go see a great picture of an incredible Megaton hammer. Was talking to Dave about it. Apparently, it's solid metal. It's like 30 pounds. It's absolutely ridiculous. Super cool. So happy to have it. And right here behind my head, from our friends over at Skytech Gaming, we have a lovely custom Skytech Mark IX gaming PC. It's a super great machine. You can see the specs over at gamesdonequick.com. I do know it's got a 3070 Ti in it, which is an amazing card that you can't get right now. I can't get right. I've been looking for one for months. Can't find one. You could have one if you win that prize. Both of them 250 cumulative donations throughout the marathon. So get in $50 now to get entered into everything I just talked about and tons of more amazing prizes. Get in $50 tomorrow, get in $50 the next day, and before you know it, you are going to be entered into both of those amazing grand prizes. Now, that's going to be it for me, but don't go anywhere because you do not want to miss Oracle of Seasons. It is such a great speed game, and it features my absolute favorite companion Link has ever had in his adventures, Moosh the Bear. He's a flying bear. How can you not like a flying bear? But Before you go, if you have any questions about prizes or anything related to the marathon, you can head over to GamesDoneQuick.com. You can check out the tracker because it's got all the information you need on upcoming speedruns like Oracle of Seasons with our amazing animal friends, on all the upcoming incentives you can put your donations towards, because you don't have to donate specifically for the prizes. You can put them towards incentives as well. And of course, all of the amazing prizes that you can win by donating. Charbunny, why don't you take it away?
How are there always so many good prizes? Thank you, Sent, and hello, everyone. You're watching Awesome Games Done Quick 2022 Online, powered by Twitch. My name is Charbunny, and I have the absolute honor of hosting for our next two runs. A weather-bending Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons run by TGH, and a daring dash through the stars with SharkHat87 and his run of Deep Space 2. If you've been watching, you've actually already met both of these runners. They've both done interviews, so you might have a sneak peek of what to look forward to. While we're getting those runs ready, I'd love to read some of these donations that are coming in. Thank you for continuing to send those on through. We have $10 from Eventide, who says, everyone is having a ball at AGDQ, I'm sure. But you know what would make this party super? Some Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. Let's go bananas on that incentive bar. And that is one of the incentives we have open right now. We have a bonus game planned for tomorrow of Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania, but only if we raise $80,019. Now we have some time to go, but we're currently only around 4,000, and the more progress we can make tonight, the better shape we're going to be in tomorrow. So if you're sitting there wondering, what do I donate for? That bonus game is an excellent choice. If you've ever seen a Super Monkey Ball speedrun, you will know that that's something you do not want to miss. We also have $100 from James Big Mac, who says, preventative detection for cancer is why my mom is still alive today. Thank you for all of the great work you do. And that's an excellent reminder. That is why we're here, chat. We're raising money for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. This is all money that goes toward early detection, making sure that no one ends up with cancer in the first place, or if they do, that we can fight it right away.